Somewhere right now, a person is looking at their phone and saying very confidently, "I do not care about drama." Then they immediately read 8 screenshots, 2 voice notes, and a message that begins, "Okay, so apparently." This is one of the most human sentences ever written. We pretend gossip is a bad habit, like biting our nails or buying one decorative bowl and somehow becoming a bowl person. But humans do not gossip because we are unusually petty, although we have our moments. We gossip because other people are complicated, dangerous, useful, attractive, unreliable, generous, ambitious, lonely, and occasionally planning brunch without us. The real question is not why do humans gossip? The real question is how any social animal could possibly survive without it. Gossip is usually described as talking about someone who is not there. That definition sounds suspicious already, like the conversation is wearing a tiny trench coat. But most gossip is not actually villainous whispering in a candlelit corridor. A lot of it is extremely ordinary social information. "She helped me move." "He never pays people back." "They broke up, but they're being weirdly normal about it." "She is great in an emergency." "He says he is 5 minutes away," which means he has not yet located shoes. This is not random noise. It is data. Messy, biased, emotionally seasoned data, but data all the same. Human beings live inside networks of other human beings. We depend on people for food, shelter, protection, friendship, childcare, reputation, jobs, dating, and knowing which restaurant gave everyone the haunted oysters. We are not just interested in what people do to us. We are very interested in what people do when we are not around, because that is usually the more useful version. If someone is kind only when being watched, that is information. If someone breaks promises to one person, you may be next in the queue. If someone is brave when things get unpleasant, you want to know before the unpleasant thing arrives and starts making demands. Gossip is reputation tracking. It is the group's informal weather system. A low-pressure front of bad news is moving in from accounting. High chance of betrayal by Thursday. In small human groups, reputation was not a luxury. It was survival equipment. For most of human history, people lived in groups where relationships were not optional. You could not simply mute the tribe, block 3 hunters, and move to a new apartment with better light. The people around you were your help, your security, your dating pool, your trading partners, your witnesses, your rivals, and the people most likely to notice if you were eaten by something with unreasonable teeth. In a world like that, knowing who could be trusted mattered. Who shares food when they have extra? Who disappears when there is work? Who is good with children? Who escalates conflict? Who lies? Who keeps secrets? Who is secretly very good at finding honey? You cannot personally test every person in every situation. That would be exhausting, and in some cases, fatal. So humans rely on second-hand information. We do this constantly. We read reviews before buying a toaster. We ask friends about doctors. We check whether a contractor has a reputation for turning a bathroom renovation into an archaeological era. Modern review culture is just gossip with stars. The ancient version was probably not that different in principle. Instead of 2 stars, delivery was late, it was, "Do not go hunting with him, he panics near boar." And that little sentence might save your life. This is where gossip gets its strange power. It lets people learn socially. One person's experience becomes useful to everyone else. A group can map danger without every member needing to fall into the same hole one at a time, which is efficient, though less entertaining for the whole. But gossip is not only about danger, it is also about cooperation. Humans are unusually cooperative animals. We help non-relatives, we share knowledge, we build things together, we form teams, villages, companies, fan communities, neighborhood associations, and group chats that somehow require a constitution. Cooperation creates a problem. If most people are contributing, there is always a temptation for someone to take the benefits without paying the costs. to accept help but not return it, to borrow tools and let them vanish into the fog, to agree to bring plates and arrive with vibes. Groups need ways to notice that. Direct punishment is costly. Confronting people can be risky, but reputation is cheaper. If word gets around that someone cheats, freeloads, or causes harm, others can avoid them, pressure them, or demand better behavior. Gossip becomes a social alarm system. This does not mean every rumor is fair or true. Humans are not pure truth machines. We are nervous apes with Wi-Fi. But the reason gossip feels so compelling is that it often carries information that could change how we behave around someone. It answers the quiet social questions running in the background. Can I trust this person? Are they safe? Are they loyal? Are they competent? Do they follow the rules of this group? Do they know that everyone saw the thing they did at the holiday party? That last one is not ancient, exactly, but the emotional machinery is doing its best. One influential idea from anthropologist Robin Dunbar is that human gossip may be related to social grooming in other primates. Many primates maintain bonds by grooming each other. Grooming is practical because it can remove parasites, but it is also deeply social. It says, in the quiet language of fingers and fur, "We are good. We are connected. Please do not abandon me during a fight." The problem is that grooming takes time. You can only groom one individual at a time, unless you are an octopus, and primates are famously not. As human groups became more socially complex, spoken language may have allowed people to bond with several others at once. Talking became a kind of verbal grooming. And what do humans talk about when they are grooming each other with sound? Other humans. If you enjoy explanations like this, where everyday behavior turns out to be ancient machinery wearing a modern outfit, this is the sort of thing Oddly Human keeps poking with a stick. This is why gossip can feel bonding even when the content is not especially important. Two coworkers whispering about who keeps stealing yogurt from the office fridge are not only exchanging dairy-related intelligence, they are forming a tiny alliance. They're saying, we see the same pattern, we share the same judgment. We are both normal, unlike the mysterious spoon criminal among us. Gossip tells you who agrees with you. It helps people test values without making a formal speech about morality. Instead of saying, I believe reliability is important in cooperative social systems, we say, can you believe he bailed again? Much more efficient, fewer footnotes. This is one of gossip's underrated functions. It teaches group norms. Every group has rules, and many of the most important ones are not written down. A family has rules about loyalty. A workplace has rules about who gets credit. A friend group has rules about invitations, birthdays, texting speed, and whether it is acceptable to date someone's ex after a cooling period measured in months, years, or geological formations. People learn these rules by watching reactions. Gossip is where the group explains itself. Everyone thought that was rude. She handled that really well. That was generous. He should not have said that in front of her. These comments do not just describe behavior. They rank it. They mark it as admirable, suspicious, embarrassing, selfish, brave, or forbidden. Gossip is a classroom where the lesson is, here is how not to get quietly removed from the camping trip. This is why even positive gossip matters. When we hear that someone helped a neighbor, kept a promise, defended a friend, or behaved well under pressure, we update their reputation upward. We may trust them more, we may want them closer. We may decide they are good coalition material. Coalition is a cold word for something humans do constantly. We form little units of mutual support. Friends, couples, families, teams, cliques, departments, fandoms, political groups, people who all hate the same meeting. A coalition is not always sinister. It is just an alliance. In ancestral environments, allies could help protect you, share resources, defend your reputation, care for children, and stand beside you when conflict appeared. Today, allies can help you move apartments, warn you about a terrible boss, send screenshots, and say you are not overreacting, which is one of the great medicines of civilization. Gossip helps us understand coalition maps. Who is close to whom? Who had a falling out? Who is newly trusted? Who is losing status? Who is defending whom? Who knows what? Who can influence the group? This is why people become intensely interested in social shifts that do not technically involve them. If two friends stop speaking, your brain may treat it as important, even if your conscious self would prefer to care about taxes or vegetables. A friendship breakup changes the social map. It might affect gatherings, loyalties, secrets, emotional labor, and where you sit at dinner. Your brain does not see drama. It sees moving alliances. The fact that the alliances now involve brunch reservations and shared streaming passwords is not the brain's fault. It evolved under different office policies. This also explains why gossip travels especially fast when it involves norm violations. A person was dishonest. A person betrayed a friend. A person abused power. A person acted cruelly. A person violated a sexual boundary. A person hoarded resources. A person humiliated someone weaker. These stories grip attention because they may signal danger. They tell the group where trust may be misplaced. They help people decide whether someone should be avoided, confronted, watched, forgiven, or removed from responsibility. This is the better side of gossip, the one people sometimes forget. Whisper networks have helped people warn each other about genuine risks, especially when official systems failed or ignored them. Informal social information can protect people. But the same machinery can go wrong quickly. Because gossip is powerful, it is tempting to use it as a weapon. If reputation affects whether others trust you, date you, hire you, invite you, defend you, or believe you, then damaging someone's reputation can be a strategy. People can exaggerate, omit context, spread falsehoods, or frame ordinary behavior in the worst possible light. Humans are not only reputation trackers, we are reputation managers. We care what others say about us because deep down, being disliked by the group has never felt like a small administrative issue. For a social animal, exclusion is threatening. In ancient conditions, being pushed out of the group could mean losing protection, resources, mates, and help. Today, it may mean being left out of a group chat called something innocent like weekend plans, which somehow hurts with prehistoric force. This is why gossip makes us anxious even when the stakes are low. If you walk into a room and people suddenly stop talking, your mind can produce a full legal case in under 2 seconds. They were talking about me. They know something. I have done something. My shoes are wrong. My entire personality has been reviewed and returned. Most of the time, they were probably discussing lunch. But your brain is built to notice possible social threat before it has all the evidence. Better to be overly alert to exclusion than calmly unaware that everyone has decided you are dangerous, selfish, or impossible to hunt mammoths with. This is also why we are drawn to gossip about high-status people. Celebrities, leaders, influencers, bosses, royalty, athletes, the person in your town who owns 3 restaurants and 1 very dramatic divorce. We track them because status affects attention. High-status individuals can shape norms, control resources, attract allies, or become models for behavior. In a small group, knowing what powerful people were doing could matter directly. In modern life, most celebrity gossip has almost no practical use. Knowing which actor is dating which musician will not help you find shelter unless you live in a very unusual ecosystem. But the brain sees high status and thinks, important human, gather data. Then suddenly you know the romantic history of someone who does not know you exist. Perfectly normal ape behavior. Slightly inefficient, but normal. Digital technology did not create gossip. It industrialized it. The group chat is a campfire that never goes out. Social media turns reputation into a public scoreboard. Screenshots make private speech portable. A rumor can travel through a school, workplace, fandom, or city before the person involved has finished wondering why their phone feels cursed. Ancient gossip moved at the speed of walking and talking. Modern gossip moves at the speed of thumbs. This creates a mismatch. Our social instincts evolved for smaller worlds, where you often knew the speaker, the target, the history, and the context. If someone told you a story, you could judge their motives. You could ask follow-up questions. You could compare it with what you had seen. The rumor lived inside a web of relationships. Online, information can arrive stripped of context. You may not know who started it, who benefits, what was left out, or whether the screenshot is real. But the emotional hook is still there. A norm has been violated. A villain may have been found. A group is forming. Pick a side before the facts become inconvenient. This is why modern gossip can become so intense. It activates ancient social threat systems, but at a scale our minds were not designed to manage. A small band reputation tool gets connected to a global distribution network, which is roughly like attaching a jet engine to a shopping cart. The cart was useful. The engine is impressive. The outcome may involve fire. Still, gossip is not simply a moral failure. It is a human tool. Like most human tools, it can build, repair, warn, bond, distort, punish, entertain, and ruin a Tuesday. The question is not whether we gossip. We do. Even people who hate gossip often enjoy carefully curated context. Very dignified, very ethical. Comes with tea. The better question is what kind of gossip we are spreading and why. Is it helping someone avoid harm? Is it giving fair information about trust? Is it clarifying a group norm? Is it bonding through shared values? Or is it just turning another person into a snack for the social brain? That last one is where gossip becomes cheap. Not because it is about other people, but because it stops treating them as people. The target becomes a character, a symbol, a cautionary tale, a little effigy made of anecdotes. And yet, even then, the impulse comes from somewhere understandable. Humans are obsessed with gossip because humans are obsessed with humans. We are the main threat in our environment and the main source of safety. We are the predators, the partners, the competitors, the babysitters, the rivals, the healers, the liars, the rescuers, and the people who may or may not help carry the sofa. Other animals have teeth, venom, claws, speed, camouflage. Humans have opinions about who can be trusted. That sounds less dramatic until you remember that reputation can decide who gets help, who gets believed, who gets invited, who gets protected, and who gets left alone when the weather turns bad. So the next time your phone lights up with, "You did not hear this from me," you are not just witnessing pettiness. You are seeing an old social machine wake up. It wants to map danger. It wants to find allies. It wants to understand the rules. It wants to know who is safe, who is powerful, who is generous, who is cheating, who is changing sides, and who has somehow made the group chat weird again. The setting is modern, the instinct is old. A few thousand years ago, the information might have been about a hunter, a rival, a healer, or the person who kept taking more than their share of meat. Today, it is about a coworker, an ex, a celebrity, a neighbor, or the person who keeps liking suspiciously specific posts at midnight. Different costumes, same nervous animal. Gossip is not the opposite of civilization. In a strange way, it is one of the things civilization is made of, a constant murmuring system of trust, warning, bonding, judgment, and repair. Not always noble, not always accurate, not always kind, but very human. Because long before we had courts, resumes, star ratings, background checks, HR departments, and 12-part documentary scandals, we had each other. And we had the oldest notification in the world. Someone knows something about someone.